Ancient Earth, a world unknown, first Earth's end, gods and humans, a fallen world. The ancients called it Tiamatua, paradise of resonance and light. Here, mankind lived, not in flesh, but in light bodies. Time flowed differently. The people communicated through vibration and lived in unity with divine law. The earth was in harmony with the stars. The keepers of knowledge, known as the Elohim, were stewards of this age. They taught sacred geometry, the language of creation, and the mastery of sound and frequency. But among the Elohim, one faction grew envious of the human potential. These were the fallen architects, who became known in later texts as the Watchers, or Nephilim. They sought to descend into matter, to experience sensation and domination. Against divine order, they descended fully into flesh and taught mankind the arts of war, sorcery, and manipulation of the DNA blueprint. They introduced vanity, division, and corruption into the Edenic code. The balance was shattered. As mankind descended further into materiality, the earth responded. The skies darkened. The magnetic field destabilized. Crystals embedded in the earth began to fracture. The planet tilted. The twin suns collapsed into one, and the veil of water above what the ancients called the firmament was torn. A great flood was triggered not just of water, but of memory. This cataclysm was recorded in hundreds of traditions. The Sumerians wrote of Eridu's fall. The Hopi spoke of the first world's destruction by water. The Vedas described Pralaya, the cyclical dissolution of worlds, and the Hebrew texts remembered it as Noah's flood. But this was not the first Noah. This was a reset, the first end of the world, but not all perished. Guided by higher beings, select humans preserved the sacred knowledge. They built arks not just of wood, but of stone and frequency. Some fled to the highlands of Africa, the plateaus of Tibet, and the caverns of South America. These were the seed bearers, those who would reawaken in later ages and restore fragments of the old truth. The rebellious Elohim were cast down, bound in the underworld, what the Book of Enoch called Sheol. The earth was healed over millennia, but the scars remained. The new world had begun, but it was a world with amnesia. A veil was placed upon mankind's memory, yet the soul remembers. We live now in the echoes of that ancient fall. The signs are returning, the frequencies are rising, and those with eyes to see and ears to hear are remembering. The first end of the world was not the last, but it was the first great forgetting, and now we begin to remember.